Hey everybody, today we've got a Troy-Bilt 2800 psi, 2.3 gallon per minute pressure washer. This thing is like a 2015 model year right there. It says 2015. And my coworker of my wife had it. They're moving. And they said there was something wrong with it and they didn't want it anymore. Basically what was happening is they put gas in it and gas was just pouring out over in this general area. Sounds like to me like the float is stuck. There's no gas in the tank. It's too new. It's like to really be anything wrong with it. No gas in it at all. I stuck my nose there and sniffed it. What little bit of gas that might be in there still smells good. So we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of gas in it and see exactly where it comes out. I'm thinking that there's probably a piece of dirt inside the carburetor. This is the float bowl right here. Let me go get some gas. We'll put a little bit of gas in it, and we'll see if we can get it to leak to figure out where it's coming from. All right, we put some gas in it, and you can see gas is just pouring out all over the place. I really didn't see exactly where it came from, but it looks like I think the float's stuck. So we're going to pull the float bowl off and see if the float bowl's stuck. That's the first thing we're going to do. So I got a pair of pinch off pliers and we pinched off the fuel line, and I found out that the gasoline is leaking right out of this. It looks like there's a hole underneath there for like a vent. So we got that done. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to use a 13 millimeter and we're going to pop the float bowl off real quick. It's just so full of gas, it's unbelievable. Looks like we might have to do a little, looks like we're going to have to do a little bit of cleaning. Yeah, they left gas, so this thing never would have started up and run. The jet is built into this bottom plug and you can't even see through the hole. So we're going to have to take this apart and clean it. So let's pop the float bowl off. And yeah, it's got some stuff in there. They left gas in it and it's gummed up. Now my question is why is it letting the gas in? Because this seems to be free. Is there something wrong? Let me go get the pin out of the float and I'll drop that down and we'll see what we have going on in there. Okay, so I pulled the pin out of the float, and the reason why the gas is pouring out is if you look at the needle, that's the needle, it's all yellow. It was all gummed up and stuck down because after I pulled the pin out, I had to yank this out of the carburetor. So the pin goes through here and the float works up and down, and it was down because it had no gas in it. And then what gas was still in it turned to varnish, like right there. And there's all this varnish all over that needle, and that needle stuck down. So we're gonna do a mini clean on this one because it looks like there's only gas up to this point. So I don't think there's any more fuel from here up that turned yellow. So we're gonna clean all this up. We're gonna clean the hole where the needle goes, which is called the seat. We're going to clean that out, and we're going to clean all these parts up. We'll put it all back together and see if it will work. So we went ahead and used a little 2+2 gum cutter, and we got the float ball all nice and clean. We got all the yellow stuff out of it. And then on the needle was coated with the yellow stuff there and wouldn't slide up and down inside the carburetor. I got that all cleaned off. I took a rag and cleaned up in there. This is the main jet, which is either a 89 or 68, whichever way you look at it. There's no line, so you really don't know. But that is all cleaned off the best we could get it. We used a wire brush. I couldn't get the gasket off of it, so I had to clean it with the gasket on, try to be real careful. And then we ran my tip cleaners through the orifice, got them all nice and open. So that's all nice and clean. So now the float goes in like this. The needle hooks in like so. So as the carburetor needs fuel, the float drops, the needle opens up, lets fuel in and back in. So now we're going to put this back together. I got that loaded. We come around and we get that up into the seat hole. And now I have to line the float bowl pin up. Which I'm going to have to use a pair of needle nose, because the air cleaner assembly's in the way. There we go. Oh God, I missed it. There we go. So then you just push the pin in evenly. You just push the pin in evenly, and now everything's nice and free and working. So now we're going to go ahead and put the float bowl back up and in place. Put the jet assembly back in underneath. There we go, let's get that started. 13 millimeter or half-inch wrench, you want to take and just snug that up. All right, so I'm going to take the pinch-off pliers off and let fuel flow into the carburetor. And look, it's not flooding anymore. No more gas running out. So this pump should have oil in it, so we should be able to start it up. There's an on-off switch here. We'll close the cap. And we already checked the oil in it. The oil is fine and clean, not an issue. No primer bulb, right? All right. There we go. There we go. This thing doesn't have a throttle control because it probably uses the water. And as you use the gun, you know, when the motor gets, when the RPM of the motor comes down, the governor brings it back up. It sounded like it took a second to clear out from the gas that might have been stuck inside the motor. So there you go. There's a 2015 Troy-Bilt 2800 psi pressure washer. We'll take it home. We'll hook up the hose and make sure everything else is working good. But it looks like the only thing wrong with it is they left gasoline in the carburetor. The carburetor got gummed up, so we did a mini clean on it. If this doesn't take care of it, we'll have to take the whole carburetor apart and soak it in the carburetor cleaner and rebuild the carburetor. But for now, we're going to try it this way and see if it works. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like the channel and my videos. And please share. All right, we have some bonus footage. We are back home. We have the pressure washer hooked up to the water, and we put the number 15 general angle spout on the wand. So let's fire it up, and we're going to go ahead and clean our concrete walk over there. right, well, I do have to say that this is the most powerful pressure washer that I have ever used or ever repaired. This thing is really, the more the pressure, the faster it cleans. Very happy with it. We'll be using this for a long time. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for looking at the bonus footage.